welcome, and thank you for helping us out today. We scheduled this session to run for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. But if it goes slightly over or slightly under, it's nothing to worry about. And before we start, I'll just give you a quick run through of how the session will work. So what we're doing today is we're getting some research on a prototype flight app that we've been designing. And we're trying to identify any issues or problems that could be fixed to improve it. And to do that, we're talking to people like yourself, and then using your feedback, we're going to hopefully improve a few things. So the setup will be, I'll be asking you questions and talking you through the task. We've got a camera and a microphone that's recording what you do. And then on the screen, we are also recording how you interact with our prototype. And you'll see that when you hover your mouse over it, if you just click quickly, yeah, there we go. Then you can see that it's tracking where you're moving as well. So be able to see where you click and how you move around. So first, I'll just run you through how the prototype works. So it's not like a fully live app in the sense that not everything is interactive and not everything works fully as it should do. But the main flow that you will be required to progress through for this task will all be working. And if you get to a point where you're unsure of what to do next or where you should be clicking next, obviously let me know and feel free to voice all your thoughts on that. But if you do click somewhere and it's not interactive, anywhere that is interactive will flash up blue. Okay. So that should help guide you through. But yeah, on the subject of that, a few things to keep in mind. We're not testing you, we're testing this prototype. So please be as open as possible. Anything you think is great, anything you don't think is so great, just let us know. If you've got any questions, let me know. But bear in mind, if it directly relates to the task you've been set, I may not be able to answer it. And please be as candid as possible and voice as many thoughts as you can, because all of your thoughts are great feedback for us. Just be as verbal as you can. So, for instance, if you're thinking of clicking on a button, don't just click on it. Feel free to just say, I think I'm going to click on this because, or I'm looking around the screen for this certain prompt or price or anything like that. So yeah, just before we start, have you got any questions for me?
Because we're testing the app and not testing me.
Yeah.
Shall I like click around a bit more, or do you want me to only click in the process of I'm booking this flight? What actually, if I was booking this flight, would I click
so
on?
So it'll be direct. The interactions you'll be making will be directed by the task you've been set.
Okay.
Which I'll explain in a moment.
So I don't have to like go and explore all the other.
No. It's just within the confine of the task that we've set.
And is it in like functionally this is how it would work, but in like design, because it's got no color on the app, is this how it would be?
Yeah, so this is just how it is for the prototype.
Okay.
So it's just to get the main flow and functionality down, and then later along the line things like color and branding and design.
Okay, yeah.
So at this stage, we're just testing the functionality of it and the flow of it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. All right. Thanks for your questions. So for this task, you're going to be booking a flight for 2 people from London to Aarhus from the 26th of June to the 3rd of July. A return flight flying economy. So yeah, feel free to get stuck in and make a start.
Sometimes I might just click off these sort of prompts to make them go away, but I know that sometimes you have to answer them, but I'll take the moment to read it.
Yeah. So for instance, on this, feel free to let me know your usual preferences and what you would usually do if you were trying to book a flight.
After reading it and knowing that it's not like a cookies pop-up, it's about my location. It's actually you're booking through like a travel thing, so actually your location is probably quite a helpful thing to do. So I would do one of the allows, and maybe depending on how often I use this app, I do like allow once if it's one that I don't use very often. So allow once. Okay, then we've got what looks like a usual search screen that
Yeah.
I would be used to seeing?
Yes, so this would be the main landing page. So yeah, if you could just describe what you see on this page, what you're looking out for, and what you're hoping to do next, that'd be great.
Clear like a brand name, so I know which app I'm in, always useful. The key sort of search fields that I would want, I think. So we've got your forums, your twos, return or one way, and then the other ones, yeah, I sort of expect to see those. And then I wouldn't interact with them, but I would expect to see the sort of logins and the like 3 lines for the indicator menu. If I was just searching to like find a good price for a time or whatever, I may not like log in. And if I don't use the app very often, I won't like log in. I know sometimes on some apps it's like useful for you to log in as you're doing these things. But if I'm just searching and like figuring it out, I would just go straight in. I wouldn't bother like logging in.
Go for it.
Okay, so I clicked allow my location, and that makes me think that it's prompted the London Gatwick Airport. That would be my closest airport.
Right.
So that's field's already done.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't actually click on that because that's my airport. So then I go straight to the next field, which would be my destination.
Great.
So click on that. It gives me a scroll option, but I can see Aarhus, Denmark, where we're going. So right there. So I just just simple click to fill that in.
Great. And if you were just searching for a location, usually would you tend to scroll through, or would you tend to use a search function?
I think search, because by the time you get those lists, it ends up with like every location, and that like it ends up being a really long list. So doing like, if I would type A, and then it would I would do that like shortcut me to where I thought I was going.
Super.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna figure out, sometimes with these things I like to figure out which one is like the one where it's selecting, but this one it's quite obvious because the grayed out makes me think it's not one, and then the highlighted one, which is the white one, makes you think that that's the one that we do want. And we're booking a return flight. Is that correct? Okay, so I'm gonna make sure my toggle is on the return option. The next blank field, that's where I'm drawn to next, like sort of looking down the page chronologically, is that right? But like sort of like down the page. Departure date is my next one. So any sort of empty field like this, I just find obvious. You just click on it, and then I sort of know something's going to happen. So I just presume that it's going to give me a list of dates or something. So I'm going to click on the field that's departure date. There we go, dates. It's got the prices by the dates that fly. That's really useful because then I know like that might affect the choice of day that I go on. For this situation though, we've got a date that we are going to go on, so I think it was the 26th of June, is that right? So I'll click on that. And I presume if I was on this properly, if I were to like scroll up and down, I could like scroll to like August or earlier in June or whatever if I wanted to. And the 3rd of July is our return date, is that right? Okay. Oh, it's quite handy at the bottom. I'm like drawn down to the bottom of the page now that I've got my selection, and obviously I feel like I'm confident in knowing that is my selection, because you've got the bar that runs the length of your trip, which is like really easily identifiable of like confirming that I've done that correctly and haven't just booked for the wrong date. And then you sort of got a reminder down at the bottom, which is nice, and with your estimated price. So that all sort of gives me a nice summary, and then I'm good to go to confirm dates. That's where I would that's where I'd click
and
next.
Just before you do, is there anything you would expect to see on this page that you haven't, or is there anything that you're glad is on this page that you
reset? I'm glad that's there, because sometimes when you have the line and the toggle line, you just click on one and it does your outbound, and then you click on the other and it's your inbound. Then if you try and click off it, so sometimes I might try and click off on a different date to like wipe it, and then it would start thinking I was starting a new trip from the 13th, but actually having an option for a reset button makes me think that annoyance I sometimes get I wouldn't get. So if I needed to redo it, I've got my option there. So that's pretty handy to have.
Great.
And you asked me things that are good to see, and then things that, what was the other question?
If there's anything that you weren't expecting to see that was there, or anything that there was, anything you was expecting to see that isn't there, or anything that you weren't expecting to see that is there.
No, that feels all good.
Super.
Yeah. So I would go to confirm
yeah.
dates. Okay, let's go and click that. Yep, good. This is what I would expect to see. Takes me back to like continuing to fill out my search form. As I feel now, it's just like sort of habitual, even though it doesn't have a drop down or anything. I know to just like click on the next thing, and it'll give me the option. So I'm just going to click on the passenger bar, and I'm pretty sure I know I'm going to be able to like edit the there we go, edit the number of passengers. And it's 2 adults that we're going with. Infant, child, all those options I don't really need, but that's fine for me. And then very clear, I would just press the plus button to, take up the number of adults I'm going with. So I'm going to go and click that. Also at this point, it's quite good that if I then realize I hadn't got my dates right or whatever, I wanted to pause, I do have the cross option as well. If I was like trying to book this and needed to change something or go back and do something, I could do it like that as well, which feels like a good option. I've got my 2 adults now, so I'm going to go drawn to my confirm button at the bottom.
Great.
Let's do that. The next field, last field on this page, is the class, which I'm going to, either it's drop down there, but I feel like I could click anywhere on this bar. That sort of feels like, because that's what I've done previously. So and then it does have the drop down there. So even though sometimes I might be drawn to a thing, because I've been able to click on all of the other fields, I just can click anywhere. And then there are your obvious options. And for this flight, are we flying economy? Okay, so we'll click on that, and that's fine, and that field is full. So that is my search.
Great.
With all the information in to then find my flights would be go for it. Where we go for. Okay, find my flights. This is showing me what I want to see at the top. It's got the things that I've already put in. So it's got where I'm going to, my class, the date, but it's also quite nice. It's got, if I wanted to change dates again at this point here as well, I could, because it gave me this option when I was looking for dates, it gave me the prices, but it's also nice to have it here, because if you then go in, because it might change on the time that you want your flight. So if I really wanted an evening flight or whatever, there might be actually a day where the evening flights are actually cheaper when I get all this further detail. But for the purpose of this, I think this top flight I'm going to click on this. That's fine. It's got my price per person, all the information I think I pretty much need to see. Click on that. Okay. Right. And then inbound flights. Again, very similar to the page before, which is great. It has all the information I'm looking for. So I can click, it's good. Now down at the bottom, down here. Oh, wow, that pops up. That's pretty handy. Yeah. Reminds me of when I'm going, because if you're booking your like inbound flight, if you flew, so this one's an evening flight, if I knew I wanted to like then fly evenings to make the most of my holiday or whatever, like your rider with that is actually really handy. And nice that I didn't even click on that, I just like hover over it and it pops up. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm just going to click this top flight just to progress. So
sure. Just before you do, if there's anything on this page that's jumped out at you or hasn't jumped out at you that you'd like to discuss any further, feel free to let me know. But if you feel like you've covered everything, then feel free to move on.
I wasn't expecting the pop-up, but that's a nice little thing to have.
Okay.
And then I feel confident, and the page is showing me all the information. I don't feel like I'm missing anything, so I'm going to go ahead.
Go for it.
Okay, so here are my things.
So this is just your flight summary page. So if you could just tell me what it is you're looking out for on this page, and the things you'd expect to see, and if there's anything that you don't expect to see that is there, then that'd be really helpful.
Clearly showing me my outbound itinerary and my inbound itinerary, dates, prices, and prices and clearly says per person. That's good. And I know that my number of people is still like, it's still looking to book me 2 flights because that information's down here at the bottom as well. I could edit the flights now if I wanted to. I'm happy with these right now, but it's good to know I've got an option. And I think I would just go to touch the edit area. That would be where I don't necessarily need to do it now, but it's good that that is there. And then it's the total flight cost, because previously you would have seen your outbound flight costs and your inbound flight costs, but this is the first time you see that all together, so that's nice. And then that was good.
Great.
Let's click on that. Okay, next page. Outbound seats, auto allocate, which is free, and then I can see the options to click on seats that would cost me £10. I'm automatically going to go for the free option, so I'm drawn to just click on that button.
And is that your usual preference? Or would that just be?
Special occasions I might pick a seat, but actually most of the time you just go for you just feel like it's an extra cost that they're trying to get out of you, so just go for the free option. So we'll click on that. Little notice here, that's fine. Our auto allocate can't guarantee allocated seats will be near each other. That's fine. That's sort of like a standard notification, but nice that it does do the little pop up. Here though, I've got got it, which makes me think it would close it, and the cross that makes me think it would close it. Which I feel like I could do both and it'd be fine. This is just a little notification. It won't change anything drastically. So I suppose it's whichever my mouse was closer to at the time would be the one I would click on, I think. So got it.
Great.
And then this is my inbound seat, so this is the same page again. I would just go to that same it's nice actually. I've just looked down at the bottom of the page that it's telling me there are 2 seats left to allocate, knowing that I just did the 2 before, so it's like avoiding me getting confused and knowing I'm doing inbound and outbound flights, so that helps as well. I'd go to auto allocate. That's where I'd click right now. Okay.
And then this, obviously the luggage page. So if you could just talk me through what you're looking at, what you're looking for, and if you've got any other thoughts.
I normally hate these pages because it's just like I feel like you can get tricked, and there's lots of small writing, but this is quite clear. I've got my basic luggage options. It's already got the 2, which is also auto filled, which I think is good. The free bag option that you do get when you fly. The 2 people that I'm booking for already have that sort of set up, so that feels good. That would be it'd be annoying if that was set to 0, if that makes sense, because you would want it to automatically add your basic luggage. You already get these 3 bullet points of information about the luggage, which is good because you don't want to be overwhelmed with too much writing on the page. I'm guessing I can click the more information bit would take me to more information. Oh my, look at all that. I mean, I'm not one for reading small print, but if I wanted to, I could. Okay, great. So that's all that. I don't really want to add the £20 per person luggage, but even if I have read to find out more about it, I can just click it. I feel like click here to cross away, and I can just get rid of that and go back to the other options. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. So now I know I could read more information and find out about these more expensive types of luggage, but actually for this, quick flight, I just want basic luggage. Travel light, already got my 2 people covered. So that says everything for me. I know I'm not paying any extra money, so I'm going to confirm. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm drawn to.
Great.
Okay.
And then this is just your summary page. So if you could just talk me through what you're looking for, how you would usually interact with this, what sort of things grab your attention, and if the sort of positives and negatives about this page, that'd be fantastic.
Positives, share. If you're booking flights, normally you might book flights for more than one person, and you then want to share that information with them. Very important. So give that a go. WhatsApp, always a good, easy option. Email, great. I'm just going to click off that for now, but that's really nice to see. The summary includes the flight detail, but also the other things you've just gone through. So your seat allocations and your baggage, and then still reconfirmed your cost that you're going to be paying, because that's obviously always a very important thing to be looking at on the page.
Great.
So yeah, I would go confirm next.
Super.
My next.
And yeah, there's everything that you would expect to be there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that isn't there that no. Sometimes I expect they try and sell you other stuff like hire cars and stuff, but I find that more annoying, so I'm so glad it's this simple looking. Okay, confirm.
Yeah, feel free to confirm. Okay. So this is just the payment page. I just will state, because this is obviously a prototype, you won't be putting in obviously your details or anything like that. It will just be, as you click through, it will autofill as if it will do with your own details. Yeah.
And then I would if I was interacting, I would click and then fill it in. Yeah, great. So I would do the click and fill in. It's good that it's got the ticks though, because you know, when you do like your card number and stuff, sometimes if you forget a number and then you've got forgotten, so it's sort of nice that it gives you the confirmed, like everything's like.
And is there anything unexpected on here, or any frustrations or anything that you were expecting to see in a different sense? Or
what's the lock mean next to the card number?
So the lock just indicates it's a safe pay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do fill this out, and then sometimes you get the approve your like verify your payment, but that's normally done through like your bank's details. So like no, this is it until I would say check out, do my
check out them.
Great, and nice little pop-up notification to tell me I've booked successfully. Congratulations, you're going to Aarhus. Enjoy your trip. All details will be emailed to you now. We wish you great. And knowing you get the email is the thing that means that I could then just close down the app or swipe off the app or whatever, because I know I'm going to get the email notification. So
that's actually the final screen for our prototype. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Cheers.